Hey everybody, this is Dr. Langdon, and today's video is going to be a really fast-paced one about the top 10 things I think, this is all my opinion, your children don't need. And this is not an official list, but I have been a doctor for 28 years and I have 6 children and 2 grandchildren. So number 1 on the list is I don't think your kids should have a brand new fancy sports car as soon as they turn 16. Teenagers still have a poorly developed prefrontal cortex. They may not be great at executive function and decision making and sometimes can lag behind in understanding consequences and responsibilities. And they need to understand the value of money, and that's much too expensive and you have no idea. Oh my goodness, the car insurance for children who have inexperienced drivers is very high. So no brand new cars at age 16. I don't think they need a cell phone before the 8th grade for many reasons. And the American Academy of Pediatrics agrees with this. Number 3, I don't think you need to put down their other parent in front of them. Can you understand? This child understands that they are half of you and half of the other parent. So when you constantly denigrate that other parent, you are putting them down and you profoundly crush their own little self-worth and self-esteem, and it breaks my heart. And I've seen parents do it in front of me, and I can't stand it. Right now, I don't think they need to watch the news alone. They don't really even need to watch the news at all, depending on their age. But if they are watching it, you should be there with them to either turn the television off if you need to, or explain what's going on and break it down for them. There are some horrible tragedies ongoing around the world, and it's really not healthy for them to just have front row seats to all of this stuff happening. They absolutely do not need access to firearms. If you have firearms in your home, they should be unloaded and locked. All firearms should have a safety. They should not be accessible to the children. We worry first in the inquisitive younger kids who don't understand the consequences, and then we worry about the teenagers because actual successful suicide rates have been increasing, and that is terrifying. They also don't need to be overscheduled. I talk to families all the time who have no family meals because they just don't have time. They have a different ballet, karate, travel ball, travel cheer, something every single night of the week, 2 and 3 practices stacked up. They don't even have time to eat. They certainly don't have time to do homework or spend time in nature or just be a kid or get to bed on time and get quality sleep. That's a problem. So they don't need to be overscheduled. That's number 6. Number 7 is don't tell them they're perfect all the time. And I know they are perfect in your eyes. And I used to do this all the time, but then I realized there is this thing called toxic perfectionism. And if you have that kid who has that A+, I will be perfect in every single tiny thing that I do personality, it can majorly backfire on you. So do praise them, do call out their good qualities, but making sure they understand that their identity, their worth to you is not found in their perfection or their academic overachievement. This is a very delicate one, but be careful with that. Number 8, they don't need 4-wheelers. I'm sorry, they're not getting exercise on a 4-wheeler, and it can endanger their lives. So many deaths every year from inappropriate uses of 4-wheelers. Number 9, they don't need secondhand smoke, neither tobacco nor marijuana. People are not realizing just how dangerous marijuana is, and so is tobacco smoke still, like it's always been. They increase the risk of SIDS. Greatly increase the risk of SIDS. They increase the risk of kids catching colds, colds leading to pneumonia, pneumonias requiring hospitalization, development of asthma. It's a very long and horrible list. Your child does not need secondhand smoke of any sort. And number 10, they don't need a spanking for a tantrum. So when a toddler is having a tantrum, they are at their wits' end and they cannot emotionally self-regulate and they're so frustrated. The worst thing in the world you could do would be to physically strike them because now they're in pain and they're hurt and they're rejected and they were already scared and frustrated. So that is the absolutely worst response you could have. I hope these top 10 things were helpful. Thanks.